Hello and welcome again to Charles Kelly Money Tips. Hope you're having a good day or good night or good evening, good morning wherever you are in the world. Just to let you know, I'm the author of the book Yes, Money Can Buy You Happiness, which is why I run this Money Tips podcast. I was also in financial services for over 25 years, working for banks, insurance companies, also for myself, and for running my own sort of IFA practice, if you like. And although I'm not practicing now, I still keep abreast of things. I'm also an investor, so I feel qualified to talk to you about money in general. So Money Tips will give you money tips to help you save money, earn money, accumulate money, and ultimately enjoy more money. And that's what the book's about. It's about money mindset, and also making money, but it's about your relationship with money. So today I want to give you some simple tips to save money but also help the environment. Now, the environment is something we hear a lot about every day in the news. Today it's been in the news again with Boris Johnson under fire from one of his former ministers who said he doesn't know what he's doing. And yet yesterday the UK government announced plans to ban the sale of new diesel and petrol cars from 2035, which is only 15 years' time. That comes at a time when new car sales are down by 11,000 last year, so it's going to be quite a critical time for the car industry. But Britain is doing something, and we're very big on wind farms here because it's always wind here. Your fence is always blowing down, so wind power and solar power is a big thing for the future here. And yet we only contribute to 1% of the world's emissions. Now, all I hear about in the news is carbon emissions, but I don't hear much about trees. I don't hear much about chopping down thousands of acres of trees in the Amazon rainforest and in Brazil, where they actually, the government want to turn Amazon rainforest into usable farmland. We don't hear about it. So Greta, I do admire you, Greta Thunberg, but get out there and get on your boat and get out there to Brazil and stop them chopping down all these trees, because that must be making a big difference. It must be having a big impact. So what is my tip today then? So it's a very simple one. You'll probably laugh when you hear it, but when you go into any sort of public building, probably in your own home, your water is so hot. When you turn the hot water tap on, it's so hot you can't put your hand under it. You have to put a cold water mixing in with it to cool it down. And some taps even have this a sign on it saying, warning, extremely hot water. Well, I've always thought to myself, why don't they just turn it down? Why don't they just heat the water to a lower temperature? And in fact, it's very easy to do in your own house. If you've got, well, we call it a boiler here in the UK, some countries they call it a furnace. But if you go to the average boiler, you'll see two knobs or two buttons which control the heat temperature of either your central heating or your hot water. And it might have a sort of hot water tap sign, a symbol, and it might have a radiator symbol for the heating system. And plumbers and heating engineers will generally turn these up to the maximum. They say, it's better to have it up to the maximum. Why? If you have a shower directly coming out of your boiler and it's so hot that it would burn you, and that's what mine was. It was so hot you couldn't put your hand under it. You have to put cold water there. So what's the point of heating that water up to, say, 60, 70 degrees and then having to cool it down again? It doesn't make sense, does it? So I just turned my control down from maximum down to virtually the minimum, and it's still hot enough to use. It's still a little bit too hot to use on its own. So that's not only saving me gas, it's probably saving water, it's saving power to heat that water up to extreme temperatures. And I don't know why, in public buildings like motorway service stations, toilets, washrooms in buildings, all sorts of buildings up and down the country, why they can't turn that water down. And so that's my tip. Go and have a look at your boiler and turn the temperature down of the water. And some people might say, oh, you need hot water to do the washing up. Well, do you really? You could boil a kettle if you need that much water. Why do you need all this water being heated up constantly all the time? You don't need it. So now this is in a cold country where we heat our houses all the time for about 9 months a year. But in hot countries, when I go there, in tropical countries, they have the aircon on all the time. And if you go into hotel rooms, I immediately go in and turn the aircon off because they cool it down to about 16, 17 degrees, which I found uncomfortably cold. So again, I think the warm countries could do more and could help the planet by cutting back on air conditioning that is probably not needed. If you do need air conditioning, why have the temperature down to 16 degrees? Why not 20, 21 degrees? Same in the UK. Why do we need heating going up to 24, 25 degrees? We could just have it at 21 degrees, which is a comfortable room temperature. So that's my tip today anyway. Let's look at some of the power systems in your house. Look at how much you're heating your house. Look at the thermostat, but also look at your boiler and look at how warm how much you're heating your water. So this could save you money on burning gas unnecessarily and help the environment and help the planet. So thanks for listening. This is Charles Kelly bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate and enjoy more money. Thank you.